Oh, YouTube. I missed you. Did you miss me? Say it back. Yeah. Hi, Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. Today is what? I'm recording this on the 23rd of June, and these are the books that came out on the 23rd of June, 2021. I'm going to go through them. I'm going to review them. I missed last week because my laptop was in the shop. I'm sorry about that. I thought about trying to do a recap vid, but like these are kind of of the time videos, and so you're just gonna have to skip a week. And I also thought maybe I'll incorporate both weeks into one video, but look at this stack. It would be like a 2 hour long video, and ain't nobody got time for that. So we're just gonna do this week's video, this week's books for the most part. There's one exception. See if you can spot it. And yeah, we're gonna do the usual, worst to best. And this is an interesting one. MFKZ or motherfuckers, I believe it's pronounced. Don't unmonetize me. I didn't name it, YouTube. I didn't mean it. Also, I've not monetized it, whatever. This is by Run, who is, I believe, is a street artist out of LA. I've not done any research at all. This book is set in an alternate version of LA called The Meat Factory. I can't remember. And it stars this little dude and a guy with a skull whose name is Vince Diesel, I think. I don't know. It's a mess. I think this was drawn larger and like shrunk down. That's my best guess. And I think the type was also placed larger, and then the whole thing was shrunk because it's hard to read for a couple reasons. First, it's smaller than standard comic book type, comic book lettering, and also there's like some accessibility things going on here. Like it's got like colored type on a black background, which is always tricky with ink bleeds and that kind of stuff. And it just kind of makes it difficult. It doesn't help that the plot's a bit nonsensical. There's roaches that get fed. There's a pizza place. There's a job. There's maybe... I don't even know. I felt lost throughout this entire thing. That said, I'm happy this book exists. I'm happy Behemoth Press is making books like this. I'm happy that street artists are getting their shot to make weirdo things. And I enjoy weirdo books. It's just this one was not for me. The flavor of weirdness just didn't catch me. The art's really decent, and like he runs a talented artist. It's just the storytelling. I just kind of shrugged my way through it. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's happening. It might deserve a reread. It's probably not going to get one for me, to be honest. It's going to go onto a stack, and if this somehow becomes famous later on, I'll be like, oh, I have that, and then I can flip it because I'm a dirty bastard. But yeah, that's my probably worst book of the week. Second worst. Maybe tied for worst. I don't know, whatever. Spawn's Universe #1. I figured, okay, it's #1, right? It should be a good jumping on place for Spawn. I've not read Spawn since, like, the issue #9, maybe. And, yeah, I was like, okay, they're starting over. They're having a refresh thing. This would be a great place to jump on. And nope. It's continuing a couple different stories that have already apparently existed in the Spawn universe, and if you're not a Spawn reader, you're most likely going to be lost. Also, it's got Brett Booth art, and I didn't know that, or I probably wouldn't have bought the damn book, because I can't stand his art. It's not for me. Just not for me. There's also other artists in here that are decent and stuff, but like the writing, there's nothing that will help a new reader jump on into this, like at all. At all. So if you're an existing Spawn reader, you might love this. You might be like, oh, that's what's going on. If you're new, you're like, well, okay. And even the parts you do understand, you're kind of like, I don't know why I should care about this. There's nothing in here that gives me a reason to give a shit. So, there's that. All right, speaking of, this is my first of 2 teenage school books this week. This one's very low on the list. And this one's probably getting cut. This is probably my last one of this. I do not care who Red X is. I know I should, maybe. But, like... This is a whodunit or who is it, and like they don't give you a resolution at the end really. And it's a team of these Bat characters. I think they already existed. If they're new, let me know in the comments. I don't know. I'm kind of like brand spanking new to DC for the most part. I know who all the old like Silver Age heroes and stuff are, but I've just really started reading them in the past couple months, and so like I'm behind, but this is not. Every part of this just kind of grated. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard for me. The dialogue didn't feel right. The writing didn't feel like it could be actual teenagers. Not that I get it's all fiction. I'm aware, but like, and then even Steve Lieber's art, who I've sometimes liked, just didn't seem to fit this book. I think he's a guest on this. If he's new on it, well then whatever. But like, DC's putting out some really good books. This just is not one of them. All right. Speaking of, this is a tough one. It has potential. There's probably a first reappearance somewhere in here if you're a spec person for DC, which nobody is apparently, but. Yeah, and it's like the Guardians of the Multiverse, and I'm gonna give this one more issue. It's still, I don't know. It's Josh Williamson. I should like this better, but it's this is all coming out of the Future State and like the Batman Who Laughs and the Dark Knight's Death, whatever the heck. DC's stupid ass naming conventions for their stupid ass events that brought back the stupid ass multiverse, and. This is the multiverse. There's different Superman in here, and like the old old Scott Allen, Alan Scott, the old Green Lantern, and Roy Archer, right? Arsenal, whatever, and the Flash, and other people, and it's fine, but it's not great. All right, this one I might get some flack for putting it this low on the pile, but it's not bad. It's Marvel Voices Pride. This is kind of heartwarming and like affirming and great, and I think it's probably a necessary volume. Feels a little bit disingenuous having it come from a corporation like Marvel that's owned by Disney, which isn't probably has been known for being super exclusive throughout the years. Let's be honest, but my big problem with this is that like none of it. There's not a lot of actual story in here. There's a lot of little slice of life stuff and a lot of little like, hey, this character's gay or this character's trans or this character's what, identifies as queer or this character identifies as this, and it's all great. It's just like there's no stories. There's a new character that gets introduced in here, so that's probably a spec for somebody. But it's not bad. It's like a positive message, and I like the message. It's just there's just not much to it, honestly. So for being like a $10, holy crap, I paid $10 for this. A $10 book, it should have more story, and like even the relationship stories that are in here should be fleshed out more. And they deserve to be, and they probably deserve like full on story arcs, but they're all kind of crammed into like a $10 book. So, and the art's up and down, the writing's up and down. Some are better than others, but whatever. Okay, Giga number 4. I loved the first 2 of this. Maybe I missed issue 3 because I was a little lost on this one too. And I think there's maybe a different artist. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I didn't do new research. It just feels like the art was different this time around. You're getting a little bit more idea of what's going on in the world of Giga and why there's stuff. But like again, I just kind of took. Maybe it's just been a while since I read it, and I need to go back and reread it. I'm still interested, and I think it's still an interesting world, and I think it's still an interesting enough story, and I'm going to stick with it. It's Falt's putting out some decent books. It's just I was like, what? Really? That's what's happening? So. Yeah, Giga. Giant inert mecha and the people that live in and around them. I don't want to spoil anything because then I'd have to like recap the first couple issues, and I'm too lazy for that. Is this the right order? Yeah, all right. We're getting into this. Everything's fine from here on out. It's all okay. Like the great stuff's getting later. This is not great. This is one of the better War of the Bounty Hunters books, though. It's Darth Vader number 13. Greg Pak writes an interesting Darth Vader, and that's what makes it. So he makes Darth Vader kind of an angry, petulant douchebag, which is like kind of what he is in a good way. And he fights IG-88, which I love. And not a whole lot of spoilers in here, but it's an fairly action-packed issue, and you just get to watch Vader being a bit of a punk, which is cool. It's just not the whole War of the Bounty Hunters. They're stretching this out for way too long. I didn't realize it's going on for like 3 or 4 months and like 20 issues. So, spoilers. Eventually, Boba Fett does deliver Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt. And this is the story of what happens in there, sort of. Right now, everything is just, everyone's looking for Boba Fett. Great. I mean, they're just stretching this crap out. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but this is one of the better ones of the bunch. Decent. Okay, Sword number 6. I keep threatening to drop this, and then like an issue like this comes along and drags me back in. like council trying to figure out what to do with the ramifications of the planet-sized X-Men or whatever the hell it was called, and the aftermath of the stupid ass Hellfire Gala, which is nothing. It's just a party. Literally, they just made a party for a couple episodes, and then like nothing happened in the damn party. So yay! But Abigail Brand's a badass. I don't know why she's wearing an eye patch, but she's wearing an eye patch in here. Not on the cover. Maybe I missed something in some other book that I don't give a shit about. But I do like this just barely enough to keep it on my pull list. It's not fantastic, but I'm down to like just 2 X books that I'm regularly pulling, and this is one of them. So and I didn't even realize it was an X book at first. It kind of is, kind of isn't. But yeah, if you don't, I don't want to spoil what happened in Planet of X or Planet-Sized X-Men or whatever the hell it's called. So read that, then read this. There's a little bit of a touching moment with Magneto in here too. So yeah. Yeah, these are in the right order. Okay, sorry. Like, I read these and then I just kind of stack them and then I try to think about it as I'm doing this one shot. Final number 1. It's a weird-ass book. And that's saying something. Serial killer, I think, maybe, and vinyl records, and also FBI agent, and who did some wrong to some people, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense yet. But there's enough of a nugget of something here that I'm going to keep with it. It's sort of touching on the bunny mask and some of the weird horror stuff that's been going on, and kind of all the rage lately. This falls under that. I think it's okay. It's getting one more issue for me to figure it out. It's a little muddy, and you're might have to like read through it twice to be like, oh, that's what's going on, and you still probably won't know 100%. I think I have the general idea, but we'll see. Next issue will let me know whether or not I do. Final number 1. I don't know. It's a hard one to talk about. Speaking of which, hard to talk about. Good Luck number 1. I like the art of this quite a bit. Stefano Simeone, sorry if I'm butchering that, does some really nice art in here. And the story is odd. It's another odd one. There's people, not the minor spoilers, very minor. So if you don't want to, know anything about it, skip ahead until I hold up this book, which is the next book. So skip ahead to that. Good Luck number 1. These beings come down and grant either good or bad luck to people. Everybody on the planet for the most part, except for a few, and those people without luck have to somehow save the world from the rest of this stuff. And there's a augmented reality that's going on, and these unlucky, but not... Okay, by unlucky, I mean they don't have luck. It does not mean they're bad luck. They just have no luck at all. Kids have to go and try and save the planet. It's another bizarre one. You're going to get another issue for me just to see if I like it. The art carried this, and the story's intriguing enough where I'm like, that is just bizarre enough to maybe work, but I don't know if it does yet, so you get one more issue to see if it works. Yeah, okay. Robin number 3. The story was out of the A covers. This is the B cover. Robin's on Lazarus Island trying to, I don't know, be douchey. Jamie, Williamson, who also wrote the other one I didn't love, writes a pretty good Robin, and Robin's he writes Robin as a spoiled, kind of entitled brat and super cocky, and it's fun to watch, and it's fun to watch him get his ass kicked, kind of. I think if Williamson would write a Teen Titans Academy, it might be worth reading, but like that one doesn't matter. That's a tangent. Yeah, there's enough going on with this. It's a fun version of Robin. I can't talk a whole lot about what's going on without spoiling it. This is Connor Hawke on the cover, I believe, right? I think. Whatever, maybe not Connor Hawke. I can't name blah 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 blah. The Green Arrow's kid. Whoever that is. Green Arrow's kid. Green Arrow. I like the cover. I like the story. I just don't want to spoil it for a whole lot. So yeah, pick it up. Shadow Service number 9. This one baffles me because I've been preaching about it for a while and I really like it. And I still really like it, but then I'm also realized just now that Kevin Scott wrote it, and they also write the Star Wars High Republic book, and that is awful compared to this. This is great. This is like a kind of light version of a really good John Constantine story. Like, it's not bad, but it has those elements, the horror, the fantasy, the secret government stuff. Like, it's been a fun romp for 9 straight issues, and this one is also a fun romp. I think I'm one of the few people still reading it. But I don't understand how they could do this and then go and write that other crap. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. I know this is not my most review of reviews and stuff, but tough. Shadow Service number 9. Pick it up. At least pick up the trades if they made them. I've not even looked. You can probably find them pretty cheap because I don't think it's a book people are specking on. Maybe they should. Like, I think this would actually make a pretty fun TV series, and you're learning a little bit more of the backstory of like the characters in each of these past few issues. And this one, you learn kind of like a little bit of the backstory of the leader ish. And then like just kind of badassery throughout. Badassery. All right. So first issue that I think did an effective job of bringing people in and giving you just enough to work with is Gamma Flight number 1. I picked this up because I used to like Alpha Flight back in the day. I know I was the only one. And I have not been reading Immortal Hulk. This comes from the pages of Immortal Hulk. So there's a little bit where you're like, what? Why does Doc Samson look like a weird half Sasquatch? And Crusher Creel and Titania are married, and they're on a not quite bad guy team, although they're kind of bad. And Puck is in charge, or Puck's not in charge, but he's on the team. I don't know. It's these are all, apparently they were put together to hunt the Hulk, and now they're doing their own thing and trying to fight against other gamma-radiated people, or just trying to make a living in this hard, cruel world. It's a miniseries. I think it's like 1 of 5. It's if you like Alpha Flight, if you're enjoying Immortal Hulk, or which I've not read, or if you like Al Ewing's writing in general, you'll probably dig this. I like the art quite a bit by Crystal Frazier. Just kind of detailed and solid throughout, and nice compositions. There's some body horror in here that's really kind of funky and stuff, and Gamma Flight number 1. All right, Bexstar. Number 2, Mad Cave Studios. I reviewed the first one as a preview, courtesy of Mad Cave, and then I picked it up because I liked it. And I still like this. This is you learn that Bexstar's not quite the evil douchebag everyone thought she was after the first issue. And the story does make some progress. Excuse me a second. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to have to remember to... Yeah, okay. Anyways, back to Bexstar number 1. Number two. Bexstar number 2. Mad Cave. The art I love by Colin Jelly. I'm not going to actually open it up to see. It's all taped, see? And the writing, it's kind of sci-fi Indiana Jones. Everyone's on the chasing for this object when they're being chased, and like they have to go through these things to get to the object, and relive past sins and go through trials, tribulations, and traps and boogie nights and not boogie nights. I don't know why I said that. Words are hard. Next number 2. Get it. Hunt it down. You're only 2 issues in. The first issue you can probably find pretty cheap. All right. Remember when I said there's 2 teenage books or whatever, Academy-related books I read this week? This one technically came out last week, but it was damaged, so I had to wait till next week. Or maybe it came out a couple weeks ago, but whatever. I just got it today. Man, that's such night and day from the other one. Strange Academy number 11. Scotty Young and Humberto Ramos are just a great pair on this book. And they managed to do what the other book doesn't, and make you care about these characters, because the characters actually have relationships with each other, and they feel fleshed out, even though they're crystal and half dead. And there's another whodunit. A lot, some similarities to the Teen Titans Academy, but this is just so much better. The pacing's better, the characterizations are better, the art is better. Hands down, it feels like Scotty Young has a better handle on what he wants to do and is telling the story he wants to tell. Whereas maybe the Teen Titans Academy just feels like everything has to be about Red X and who that is, and nobody gives a shit. So it's just not an interesting enough hook. There's not even a hook. It's just kind of this is the next arc, and it's I know other people have said this too, but for 11 issues, this has just held my attention, and that takes some doing. Strange Academy 11, good stuff. All right, we're getting to the meat of it all, folks. Nuclear Family number 5. This is the last issue of Nuclear Family, and it is a solid ending. I didn't realize until last issue that it was based on a Philip K. Dick novel, and it all kind of, or novella or short story, whatever, and it gets a little bit dickish in this, because the ending's kind of yep, all right, that seems like a Philip K. Dick ending. But it's a satisfying wrap up. It gives you just enough to like tie it all up together. I do think maybe it could use one more issue to like space it out and like give it a little bit more room to breathe. But if you're looking for a tight 5-issue, like 5 and done story by Stephanie Phillips and Tony Chastain, Nuclear Family, I recommend it highly. The art is pretty great throughout it, and the story just it tells what it wants to tell, and it tells it like without wasting a whole lot of space. Again, it could maybe use one more issue to breathe, but that's a minor complaint. So pick it up and trade if nothing else. Nuclear Family number 5. All right, now we got 2 left. Yeah, we're gonna do it in this order. Black Hammer Reborn number 1. I still have not read the main volume of Black Hammer. It's a lot to catch up on, but Jeff Lemire is a strong writer, and I will pick up pretty much anything he does at this point because like I just know it's going to be at least worth checking out. And so this is another first issue, right? But you get everything you need to know within a little couple panel wrap up, or like flashbacky stuff, and then you're kind of like just in with this character, and you're along for the ride. And it's balancing like main real life and superheroes, real life and superhero life, and like it's not groundbreaking, but it is, I think, extremely well executed. And Caitlin Yarsky's art really is great in this as well. She does a great job of like drawing family and drawing like mundane stuff and like also dealing with the superhero stuff. But like the mainly, yeah, I liked her like everyday panels a little bit better than the superhero stuff. And like, yeah, Jeff Lemire is just like, it's his world. He's playing in it and he knows what he wants to do and he's doing it. And if you're looking for something not DC, not Marvel, but still superhero-y, Black Hammer's the way to go. And finally, my favorite book of the week, and it wasn't even really much of a question. I read this, probably the first book I read this week, maybe the second. And I was like, oh yeah, that's going to take it. And then I thought maybe something will dethrone it. But no. It is Stray Dogs number 5. I had some a little bit of complaints with the other ones where it's like didn't seem like a whole lot happened in issues 3 or 4, like, or they could have at least condensed 3 or 4 into one issue. But this ending, Stray Dogs sticks the landing on this. It's and I probably said that before. That could be my words of the week. You can, whatever, hold me accountable for it. You shed a tear in here for certain things, and it's still really like purposely Disney cartoony, and like it's a good gimmick. It's not even really a gimmick. It's a good stylistic choice of like the super cartoony Disney art with like a horrific serial killer story. And I know I'm not the first one to say this. I know it's probably not even going to be the super original review, and I know I'm probably not the only person that has this as their book of the week. I've not read any other or watched any other reviews yet. I'm going to try to get to that later, but yeah, pick this up. Even pick it up and trade, pick it up somehow. Just pick up the 5 issues of Stray Dogs. It's 5 and done. I don't think they're doing another volume because I don't think they really could. But like it's a satisfying conclusion to it. So if you've been on the fence about it and you've just heard like, hey, why is Stray Dogs like so hot? First of all, the covers. I want to go back and get all the movie variant covers because they're all pretty great. I'm not going to because they're getting pretty pricey, but I've got the 8 covers for the rest of them. But I just like this cover, and I could keep going on about it, but I think that's probably enough. I don't want to, the more I talk, the less you'll probably like it. So I'm going to shut up. All right, everybody, I am back. This will drop on Thursday morning, unless everything goes crazy again. I'm back to my regular schedule. Mondays, I do unboxing of some kind. Tuesdays, my trade paperback review. Thursdays is when these weekly comic book reviews come out. And I'm going to try and get to do more stuff. We'll see. I'm just kind of, I don't know. You get real life gets in the way sometimes. Other stuff. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I don't know. I guess, like I always say, don't be a dick. Not always easy. Just try not to be. All right, see ya.